You good?
Okay. Made it live. Says we're stable. For now. I hope it
Okay.
stays that way. Please, Lord. I'm begging. I'm actually begging. Please. Okay, stable, stable, stable. Let me send you the link. Let me know if it's stable, stable, stable.
All right. Let's see.
Please.
Let's see. I got an ad.
Oh, he got an ad. Got to make that
Okay.
money, you know.
Gotta make the revenue. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good,
Okay,
man.
so we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, let me make that announcement one more time. Let me, dare I switch this to public now? I think I should be safe to do so. Technical difficulties yet again.
Okay.
Okay, just made it public. No takesies, backsies. Is that how they say it? Copy
Yup.
link. Da-da-da-da-da. Instagram.
Yep. I see it. Just got the notification on my phone.
Perfect.
All right.
We should be here.
Yeah, we should be good. I think we are good.
This took like 50 tries. We'll act like we got it the first try though.
Hey, yeah, we got there in the end.
Were you able to make the announcement?
Yeah, I'm about to right now actually.
Perfect,
I
perfect.
gotta I'm on Twitter now. Uh Marvel Rivals. Yeah, sure. I'll put that as a hashtag.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Daredevil will be coming to Marvel Rivals at some
I
point anyway.
really, really am upset they didn't add him during the time of the show airing, but
Yeah.
they had plans already, I guess, with Ultron and Emma Frost,
Yeah.
which is crazy because all last season they were like, "Oh yeah, Blade," and we didn't get him, so
Yeah.
it was pretty funny.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Could you? You're live too, right?
Let's see. I think it's just hold on.
Or are you going live? I guess is what I should ask.
Yeah, is there a way that I can like go live with you in some shape?
Uh, Actually, I don't know. That's above my area of expertise, I guess.
Let's see how to go live
W Google.
with another channel.
Or I guess it would just be a matter of going live on your end. If you can you pick up Discord through your stream? Or
Let's see. I mean, I should. Let's see. You could use the Go Live Together feature. This allows you to stream together with a guest, enabling you to connect with the larger. Okay, how do we do it? Let's see. Create, tap Edit, set up your stream, toggle on, go live together. Choose to invite your guest. Link email. Your
see, because
guest
I'm
will
on
receive.
OBS, I don't know if that might cause an issue.
Yeah,
Well, I
yeah. Well,
guess
we'll just do it like this. I think it'll
okay.
be good like this.
Yeah, and since you got your announcement, anybody in your audience, if they want to slide through, we can do that. But
Yeah.
um, I don't even know where to start, man. I guess we'll just go ahead and start. So, Daredevil Born Again. The
Yeah,
season is
man.
over. I'm gonna turn this little mic filter off because you're gonna hear some background noise now, but it's fine. Yeah. So, Daredevil Born Again just had its finale 2 nights ago. Was it? Was that 2 nights ago? I think
Yeah,
it was.
yeah. 2 nights ago.
I'm turning the filter back on. That noise is it's annoying me. So yeah, 2 nights ago we had the finale. I First of all, before we get into it, I want to hear your thoughts of the season as a whole. Just like, what did you think? How do you think it played out? Was it what you were expecting? Did it live up to the hype? Was it not quite there? The entire thing. Just run me through your, or I guess, tell me the story of your experience watching it from week to week and where you landed by the finale. Yeah.
All right, so we have Born Again season one,
Mhm.
and expectations are pretty high. You're hyped because the show that you thought would never come back. You thought that Daredevil, oh yeah, that's going to be a thing of the past.
Right.
It comes back. It gets announced that Daredevil Born Again is a thing. Is originally supposed to be 18 episodes, all that, and then with reshoots and all that stuff, it got cut down to 9.
Yeah.
So you're going into the first episode and you're like, okay, what am I going to expect? You heard certain things might happen, you heard certain things might not happen. So the first episode hits, you're like, okay, this feels like the Daredevil I know.
Mhm.
Then things start to take a turn.
Yeah.
Foggy gets pruned from the timeline, as we should say, for
Yeah.
YouTube. YouTube's better lack of words.
Prone from the
And
timeline.
things are like, oh dang, oh snap, Foggy's gone. Like they
Yeah.
killed him off. So you're kind of in disbelief, like, did they actually really just do this? And you go into the season, you're like, that's like at the edge of your mind. Like, they really killed Foggy. Like, they really did this.
Yeah.
So you go into it, Matt stops being Daredevil for a time, and he just becomes Matt Murdock. You see his life as a lawyer, you see him sort of doing detective work on the side, and that side is interesting. Although you can definitely tell who's directing what episodes because
Yes. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know episodes 1, 8, and 9 definitely had a different tone to the rest of the episodes in the series, and I feel like the rest of the episodes in the series felt like a completely different show. It didn't feel like Daredevil. It didn't feel like it just didn't have that vibe. Like it felt like it was trying to be more of a Law and Order type thing,
Right. Yeah.
which could work for certain instances depending upon the scenario. But I think doing a whole show with the Law and Order vibe to it
Mhm.
for a character like Daredevil that's very agile and energetic and full of dark themes and storytelling, I think that those other episodes are missing something.
Yeah. I
And
agree.
it yeah, it's missing something, I think episode 3 is definitely one of my favorites. I like that they were able to go into the lawyer side, giving us that court case. I think that's a really interesting aspect that I hope they continue in the next season. I just think that personally, we want to get down into more of the psyche of just Matt fully taking on the Daredevil persona
Mhm.
and just the collateral of that, because there's
Right.
good and bad to being Daredevil, and we see that throughout. So I hope for season 2, I hope they keep with that mark of, Matt being Daredevil for some time and just kind of finding himself through that. But I'd say like overall, I thought it was good with the material they had to work around. I just think that I'm hoping and I have a feeling with the directors that are taking over for season 2. I have a feeling that season 2 is going to feel more like the Daredevil series that we were accustomed to.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything you said is how I felt going into it after seeing the first two episodes because it was yeah, episodes 1 and 2 aired the same night. And I went in with a excuse me. I went in with a ton of excitement, but not much expectation on what we would be getting. Um, for context, season 3 of the Netflix series is my favorite. I feel like
Yes.
there was no world they were going to top that. I knew that.
No.
If I had any expectation going in, it was that it's not going to be season 3. What I wasn't
Yeah.
prepared, we're having a day. What I wasn't prepared for was just how tonally different things were going to feel off rip.
Mhm.
I loosely followed the production of the show. I was well aware of the reshoots and the fact that it was having an overhaul, creative overhaul, after people not being too fond of, I swear if I stutter one more time, of people not being too fond of the original direction that the show was going.
Oh yeah, yeah,
However, I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I didn't read up on it entirely. I read, yeah, the show's getting new showrunners. They're having a creative overhaul. I thought they meant they went back and reshot the whole thing. I had no idea that some episodes would have majority, if not all, of the footage from the original iteration of Born Again. So I was learning that as I was watching it. And it was
hmm
kind of jarring. I'll put it this way. I think Daredevil Born Again, of the entirety of Charlie Cox's run of the character, is the worst season of Daredevil,
mm.
but that does not mean it's bad. I think
Yeah,
that this season was pretty good. It's pretty good, pretty solid. Uh I'm blanking. Was episode 3 the courtroom episode with Hector Ayala and all that
yeah,
stuff? Loved that one. And if I'm not mistaken, that was a pre-overhaul episode, right?
hmm
That was great. Like
yeah.
if
That was great.
that was really good. And Matt didn't suit up, which I know was a huge complaint people had that, oh, we're barely seeing Daredevil. That's not an issue for me if the writing is good outside of the suit. And for that episode, it was. It was generally favorable. I do think that there were things, even though I do like the first episode, there were things that kind of conflicted for me because I think they did kind of stitch together pre overhaul and post overhaul footage in the first episode, I think. Pretty sure with that
Yeah, they
whole
did.
opening with Foggy and Karen and Poindexter, all that, the fallout going into Murdoch and McDuffie the 1 year later, time skip
Yeah,
and all that stuff.
because I believe from what I read, I believe like Foggy was gonna be already like killed off.
Yeah, yeah, in the
Yeah,
original draft.
yeah,
Right. Mhm. I am glad that if Foggy just had to be out of the picture, they decided to allow us to see that and live in it. I do want to ask you, do you feel like his death was felt throughout the entirety of the season or just that first episode?
For for me personally, it felt like it felt for me like all the way through because
Mm-hmm.
you're kind of having that thought and then kind of thinking about the theories because this is the comic book
Right.
world. So you're
Yeah.
thinking about, okay, there is a comic where Foggy does fake his death and he's in witness protection. Could they be going that route?
Right.
So it's kind of like you're having those theories of, is he really dead? Is he somewhere trapped somewhere that we don't know? Like, so it did question, is the death really real, or
Mhm.
is this just something that they had to kind of work over the pre-overhaul stuff and then kind of say like, hey, we're gonna bring him back by this means, whether it's he faked his death or the hand resurrects him or whatever they decide to do. It seemed more of like a, could it happen or could it not happen sort of thing.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I do think I might have asked the question a little weirdly. You did give me the answer I was looking for, but I guess now I'll pose it this way.
Okay.
Um, I guess you answered from the sense of like you felt it in terms of like, is he actually gone and all this stuff, kind of like a narrative standpoint. But I guess there are like two ways to look at it. Because for me, I'll just say how I felt. I felt like his absence was felt in the sense that the show tonally shifted without him being there, but
Mhm.
I didn't feel his absence through the lens of like the emotional weight of him being gone. It was more so like I really miss Foggy for the sake of the vibe of the show and not I really miss Foggy because I'm mourning the character right now.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. I think Charlie Cox, especially the exchange that he had with Punisher, was post episode one the closest I got to like, mm, this hits, this hurts.
Yeah.
Um, I just don't feel like, and again, it's because they were juggling pre overall stuff. The show didn't sit and marinate in the loss of Foggy enough for it to like be a lasting sense of sadness for me as much as it was for Matt in universe. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I definitely see where you're going with that. And I do see that. Like it almost makes you wonder, like, had the new people that came in, would we have gotten more time with Matt just kind of processing the idea of like Foggy's death? Like, how would that have looked like?
Right.
Would he, you know, really laced up being Daredevil for good? Or would that have made him want to be Daredevil more? That's definitely like a question to ask. So I definitely see your side, and in some ways I do agree. Like it does feel like time is passing on so quickly throughout the show that
Mhm.
it doesn't feel like there was time to really process him being gone.
Yeah. And I do have the utmost faith that that'll be rectified next season.
Oh
So I'm
yeah,
not going to be too harsh. Again, I get the juggling that had to be done for this season. So if next season that's a consistent point of concern, then I'm gonna have a problem, right? Because it's like you have no
yeah.
excuse now. This is, if I'm not mistaken, season two is a clean slate, so
Mm-hmm.
no excuses there if it's
I believe.
the same problem.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I believe the directors even said like the actor for Foggy is like coming back in season two.
yeah, yeah, I saw that.
Rather that's a flashback, some flashbacks, or maybe him potentially coming back. That's something we'll have to see, but I hope he comes back because
Yeah, me
he's
too.
definitely the what he brought to the show is definitely missing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It like the finale when Frank and Karen came back. That literally
Hmm.
was enough for the show to feel like things feel normal again. Things feel right. Things feel
Yeah.
real. And it's more than nostalgia. It's more than seeing these actors on screen together. It's just this is how it was meant to be. And no shade to the new characters. No shade to Cherry, no shade to McDuffie, none of them. They're nice, they're cool, but they're not Karen. They're not
Yeah.
Frank. They're not Foggy. And to
No.
be fair, had we spent time with those characters, maybe longer episodes, spent more scenes learning about them, they could have very well become just as strong of a supporting cast for Matt. But the show just simply was not interested in doing that. So when you bring back a Frank and a Karen, by default, I'm going to care more. Like,
Exactly.
I am.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
uh,
Like it
yeah.
almost felt like they said like, "Oh, we can't cut these characters entirely, so we have to keep them in somehow." So it seemed like there were more scenes with them, but maybe they got cut or something during
Mhm.
the process, but maybe next season they'll give us a little bit more, but honestly, like it would be nice just to have the core 3 back,
Mhm. Yeah.
and just continue on with that.
And it's like, I'm not against new characters if they're done well. Like, it's been a minute since I've seen one and two, but it's even been a minute since I've seen season three. But Agent Nadine, he was new to season three, right? And he was like
Yeah, he's
one of the
new.
most integral, heart wrenching characters in the whole season.
Oh yeah.
So
I enjoyed his arc throughout that season too
yeah.
as well. Yeah, I'm like you. Season 3, that to me season 3 that is where the show for me like hit is like high mountain, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So Um, I talk about season three like all the time. Like season three, I think episode four is like my all-time favorite. You get the prison fight,
Yeah,
you get the stuff with Karen going on. I think there's like another fight with Bullseye in it, so it's like, man,
too
like what
good.
they were able to do with that season was like so good, and then to come to this, and then you're kind of like expecting them to kind of follow up on that while also adding new characters.
Right.
Um, it just comes to a place of, again, it just makes you wonder, like, had they just had the new directors like set in stone at the beginning,
Mhm. It's
would
a
things
tall
have
order.
been different? Yeah.
Yeah. And I think they probably would have been different. I can't guarantee that it would have been as good, if not better than season three. But if episodes one, eight, and nine, especially eight and nine, because I think eight and nine are even eclipsing episode one, if those are any
Hmm.
indication, would have been a whole lot closer. It really would have. It really would have.
Def-
Yeah.
Definitely. And just even like the creative vision behind episodes 8 and 9 too, like they really did play around with different effects,
The camera.
with
Yeah.
the camera, Bullseye every time he's like in focus, the it fades to blue, and the red lights for Daredevil and things like that. So they really did a lot of thematic stuff.
Yeah.
And it just makes you wonder, like, man, if we got this at 8 and 9, like imagine what the full season would have been like.
Right, dude. That's what I thought after the finale. I was like, can we get a whole season of this? Like artistic
Yeah.
flair. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know where you stand on it, but for me, uh, completely different ranking on like what's the best things the MCU has made. What are my favorites? Like I have different lists and they alter based on what the prompt is. But I have a list for most visually stunning, if we're talking like camera work, cinematography, MCU films. And in the top
Mm,
echelon of those projects, I have The Eternals and Multiverse of Madness, Sam Raimi. Don't get me
mm,
wrong. Some of the Illuminati stuff with the green screen, I know.
yeah.
But the camera work in that movie, unmatched. Like the
Oh
shot
yeah.
with the camera inside of Strangest Watch towards the end of the movie. A
Hmm.
lot of the stuff with the Wanda, the way the camera's pushing in on these expressions the actors are giving, like unmatched,
Yeah.
unreal.
Evil
Yeah.
Strange music battle.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Like,
so yeah.
yeah, those are like top two for me. And Born Again, those episodes. Let me take that back. Those episodes of Born Again are up there. So,
Mm,
because like I can't think of anything else in the MCU that plays with the camera a ton like that. Like the final shot of the season outside of the bar when we're pushing in with all the newspapers and the little opening, you see Matt, the red light shines through. Um,
yeah.
Punisher doing his thing, camera under the table.
Yeah.
Like,
Playing Radiohead.
yeah, like the
Like,
needle drops.
yeah, like
Dude, that took some getting used to because I was like, in the first couple of episodes, the random music cues were a little off putting, but episode eight
yeah.
and the finale, especially episode eight during the dance, like right as we hit credits when Matt falls,
Hmm.
perfect song choice, amazing choice.
Yes.
That was so good, so good.
Even in the finale with the lights going out and them playing "Killing Me Softly" by Roberta
Yeah,
Flack.
yeah,
Rest in
yeah.
peace to her.
R.I.P.
But yeah, rest in peace to her. But yeah, that was dope in itself because
Hmm.
you got Buck. He's trying to go into the hospital to take out
Yeah.
Matt, and Matt's already gone. Yeah.
Shoot, man. I okay, I know we front loaded a lot of this with the criticisms. I do like this season. I don't want people to think I hate it. I'm just like super particular about Daredevil and Spider-Man and like my favorites. I'm a little more like I got a magnifying glass on everything they have. Uh except for No Way Home that gets passed. I don't care about the flaws. It's perfect. 100%. So
Yeah,
um
yeah.
I was going
I
to ask
definitely
you.
understand.
Yeah. Um since we were getting our gripes out of the way. Well, it's a gripe for me, so spoiler alert. But for you, I want you to spill. How do you feel about the handling of Muse? How'd you feel about that? I heard the
I
sigh.
think I think it's such a missed opportunity.
Yeah,
I mean, he
yeah,
could come back. He could come back
yeah.
in some way, but I do feel like his potential was definitely missed because Muse is Muse ain't no joke in the comics.
Mm-mm.
He's no
Nasty.
joke, like nasty,
Yeah.
sadistic villain, right? And I feel
Kind of
like we
funny
really,
and witty.
yeah, yeah, we really didn't get the full potential with Muse. Like it felt like they wanted to include Muse as a, hey guys, we know, people online talk about Muse and we want to incorporate him. And maybe there was a bigger plan for Muse, and maybe there still is, but I just think the way they handled Muse just could have been a lot better than what they did.
Yeah. 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 I, because again, I loved the fight when Matt finally comes back to being Daredevil and he goes out
Mm,
and he rescues, I'm blanking on
Angela.
her. Yeah, Angela. I almost said, Ava. um,
Yeah,
so he goes and rescues her and their fight, so good. Loved it. And I felt like the following episode, the therapy or the therapist room in Heather's office, that fight, pretty good. It was pretty solid, but too many cuts. It was kind of
yeah,
jarring. And normally I'm not a stickler for that kind of stuff, but it stuck. It stuck out. It stuck out that time for me.
yeah.
Also,
I also think it's a
yeah. Go
little
ahead.
weird.
Go ahead.
'Cause, yeah, I think it's a little weird because, you're so used to seeing Daredevil at night
Yeah.
that when you
Yeah.
see him in the daytime, it feels very weird.
Mm,
It's like when you see Batman out, in the daytime, it's like, huh?
yeah.
'Cause you're
Which
so used to seeing him at night.
I'm all for a Daredevil fight during the day because it happens in the comics here and there. We just don't get to see it a ton in live action. So I think that was something refreshing. I just wish it was handled a little cleaner. So it's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
sad they squandered one of the first big daytime fight scenes like that for me.
yeah.
Also, people talk about the ADR in the show a lot. A lot of it I missed. Like I would see people talking about it after I watch it, and I'm like, I didn't pick up on that. But there was one scene that stood out to me. I don't know. I don't know if you saw it too.
Was
Sorry
it
for
the one
the.
with Kingpin?
No, it wasn't. Sorry for the noise in the
Okay,
background, by the way. But
you're good.
it was. I want you to mention the Kingpin one when I'm through because I actually don't know what you're talking about, and I'm curious about that. But the one I'm talking
Okay.
about was in the Heather scene right before Daredevil shows up. She's saying something to Muse, and the camera's on her face, and she's
Hmm.
visibly saying something that's not what we're hearing. And it's just so out of sync. I don't know if maybe it was a network issue for me because I'm like, why is nobody talking about this? Maybe I just had a weird lag on my Disney Plus, but I swear she did not say what her lips did there. So I don't know if you
Gotcha.
saw that, but
I definitely have to go back to that episode and look at it, but
yeah.
I did notice the one with Kingpin when he's in the office.
Mhm. Was
I
this
think
that
it
same episode
was
or?
I think that was the same episode with the
Mhm.
he was assembling the anti-vigilante task force.
Yeah.
And I think there's like a particular like line, and I was like looking at him, I was like, wait a minute, were you really saying that? Or did they add that in?
Right.
So I think they probably just added that in. So yeah,
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. People are really good about picking up on stuff like that. I miss a lot of it half the time,
yeah,
but there
yeah.
were a few here and there that I noticed. Um, let's go back to talking about some positive stuff though, because I feel like I'm dogging on the show now.
No, no, we all just giving our opinions and
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, yeah.
Uh, I will say this. I think we got some of Charlie Cox's best acting performance, uh, or some of his best performances as Daredevil in this show. Like The
I agree.
entirety of episode 8, I was like, give this dude an Emmy. Like, what are we doing? Like,
Yeah.
he's
They
so
need some
effortless.
nominations and wins for this show,
Yeah.
especially in the cinematography department, the effects
Mhm.
department. So yeah, definitely. Like even Vincent D'Onofrio, he's gonna bring it, with any role that he's in,
Every time.
uh, every time. But
Yeah.
this time around, I definitely felt there was definitely a layer that was being peeled back this time that I hadn't seen in any of his other roles.
Mhm.
And I hope they expound on that even more because I think Kingpin is such a interesting villain that there's even more layers to him that I think we could see.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's funny you mentioned that, which is perfect because I almost forgot. The scene where right before Adam's fate is decided by Vanessa,
Mm-hmm.
there's a layer, or I guess an inflection in Fisk's voice that we'd never heard before. And the way that he's speaking to her, that I was like, dude, the little nuances here
Mm-hmm.
go such a long way. Um, and I felt like a similar thing was coming from Charlie, is Matt. The way that
Oh yeah.
he carried out his frustration in episode 8, the way that he would snap at people, and I don't know, the little ticks in the performance. It was very
Yeah.
subtle, but it was just enough. It was like the perfect seasoning on like
Yeah, yeah.
food, dude. Like it hit. It
Yeah,
hit. It hit.
yeah, I agree. And it's good to see that, they're not while trying to maintain the vibe of what they did before, it's also good to see them showing their range even more because we know both of these actors, they have been in many other, projects and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And you see the different range that they have on those series, but
Right.
seeing them being able to bring that range in this series is very refreshing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I feel like they've both only grown as actors over time, and it's going to service this show well in the long run, especially season 2, because again, clean slate. We don't have to worry about the baggage of the pre-overall stuff. It's just what is the new team? What is Charlie? What is Vincent? What does John, if he's coming back? What do they want to do with these characters in the MCU proper without
Yeah.
whatever the plan was before? And their performance, I feel, are good. Their performances, there we go, will be elevated because of that. Um, Question
Okay.
after the finale: where on Earth is Spider Man? Where's Hawkeye? Moon Knight, where you at, dog? Like, we have a whole In the Heights blackout happening right now, and everybody's showing up but y'all. I'm just playing. Nobody showed up but Daredevil. So I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel about that? What's going on there?
You know, I feel like this is probably an opportunity where maybe after Secret Wars they can try to, rectify that because, that you would wonder, right? You would wonder, like, where is Spider-Man? Where
Yeah.
is, Miss Marvel and, yeah, well, all these different characters, right? So I think with the Spider-Man side of things, we got the Sony thing. Do they want to have him in with that?
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe not. I mean, the thing is, they don't even have to do too much with that. Like, all they have to do is just have a hand thwipping, and that's
Exactly.
just enough. That's just enough to get people to say, like, okay, Spidey's out there, or maybe have like Hawkeye. Maybe he's in the background going to like a department store to find something for his arrows or something. Like, you know,
When
um,
all the power
just
goes out, like, yo, what's happening here?
yeah, like like all the just little stuff like that. Maybe we have Mr. Knight pulling up in his limousine, and he was trying to get a cup of coffee or something, just
Right.
something to give people like these other heroes are out there. So I'm hoping with season two, maybe they can incorporate like, a Moon Knight or a Jessica Jones, a Luke Cage, bring back some of those Defenders characters
Right.
because now with season one ending, we're in a much different place than where we started.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
this is a bigger threat. Kingpin is becoming more and more of a bigger threat. And, like he said, Matt said, we need an army. And he's going to need an army. He's going to need a Spidey. He's going to
Yeah.
need a Punisher. He's going to need all these characters to fight this battle because he can't do it alone.
Yeah. And the team he had in the finale, that's not gonna cut it. I'm sorry, buddy. So
No, no.
yeah. Also, let's
You know,
welcome Cameron to the chat.
all right. Hey.
How's it going? Talking Daredevil. So yeah, all the stuff you mentioned, I kind of thought as well, especially the Defenders. I feel like they have a stronger chance of appearing than Spider-Man, obviously, because of the rights issues with Sony and all that annoying mumbo jumbo. But there's another question that I think we should take into account. What is the
Okay.
likelihood? And I know they're trying to not have it be so interconnected, but it's the same universe and there was a whole blackout in the entire city. You have to talk about it. Uh, do we get any word of this in Thunderbolts? Like, what's going on?
It would be nice to. I mean, I think about it as like a verse versa situation because we got the blackout and Daredevil,
Mhm.
and then we got the Century. He's the Void is
The
taking
Void, yeah.
over New York, so there has to be at least a mention of that. Is Kingpin working with Val? You know,
I
um,
hope so. I really do. That would be cool.
because that would lead to an even bigger issue because now not only Kingpin is on the political side of things, but now
Mhm.
he's more on the weaponizing side of things,
Right.
So
Yeah.
um I hope they connect those. I think it would be smart to connect those. So we'll have to see.
And it doesn't even have to necessarily be something super like name dropping Kingpin, name dropping Daredevil. They have a cameo, all this like something just oh, those blackouts are crazy, huh? Martial law.
Yeah.
Martial law. Like
Yeah.
got a new mayor. Like just I do like that Marvel is going the route of treating each individual property with care and
Hmm.
this is a product on its own and not just another cog in the machine. But
Yeah.
a huge selling point of the MCU is the interconnectivity or the interconnectiveness of the properties. And I would hate to lose that um,
Right.
and run the risk of things feeling like they don't make sense now because of that. Like, I remember when Iron Man 3 dropped and the president was kidnapped by Killian, right? I think. And everybody was
Hmm.
like, where's Captain America? Where's Cap?
Yeah.
He didn't do anything
Yeah.
about this? Like, so who knows? Who knows? Uh,
Yeah.
you think, do you believe the whole, I don't know if you saw the rumors about Charlie appearing in Doomsday? Like he went to that gym or whatever, and his trainer said he was training up for Doomsday and all that. Did you see
Yeah,
that?
I did see that. It's definitely interesting, seeing as we had a 5 hour chair watch, which I was one of the people that was
You
watching it for
watched the
5 hours.
5 hours, dude?
I watched the entire 5 hours, and
Wow. Did you stream it or just watch it?
no, I just watched it. I
Okay.
wish I could have streamed it. I
Yeah.
wish I could. But yeah, me and some buddies, we were on Discord call, and we were just like watching,
That's
and
fun. Yeah.
we
Yeah.
we were predicting like who's next. Is it gonna be Magneto? Is it gonna be Ghost Rider?
Yeah.
So it was fun to kind of hear the music and then see the switching of the chairs and be like, oh snap, we got Patrick Stewart in here, we got
James
James Marsden in
Marsden?
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what? And then finding out like Doomsday is gonna be with the Avengers, the Thunderbolts, the Fantastic Four, and the legacy X-Men characters, them fighting against Doom. It's kind of like, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm curious about what they're gonna do, but then we have like 26 other chairs left of characters that we haven't seen yet. So could Charlie Cox Daredevil be one of those chairs? Maybe, but honestly, I see him more likely as a Secret Wars ordeal
Hmm.
because I think it would be interesting, and I don't know if they are going to do this, but I think it would be interesting if maybe Spider-Man maybe does like a team. He assembles his own team of heroes, maybe going into Battle World, and maybe
Yeah.
Daredevil is one of the heroes on the team. So I think to me, he's more likely for Secret Wars than Doomsday. I'd be shocked if he is in Doomsday, but yeah,
Yeah. No, I agree. I think, let's see, because what's coming out first? Season 2 of Born Again or Doomsday? What's first?
I think the director just announced that season 2 is going to be in March of next year.
Hmm. So before.
So
Okay.
yeah, before. So we got that. Then we have the Punisher special. We got to find out when that's going to be coming out. I'm predicting it might come out either before or after season 2, but I think it might be before. Then we
Okay.
have then we have what, Vision Quest? Maybe that
Yeah, I
comes out
forgot about that.
before.
Hmm.
Um, there's a rumor of like they're doing a Young Avengers series, but they're calling it Champions.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Cool.
yeah, is that gonna come out before then? There's an untitled Marvel movie in February of next year too, so people are trying to figure out what that is. I want it to be Doctor Strange 3.
Hmm.
I don't know if they're
Well,
gonna do a Doctor Strange 3, but
yeah, because I was like, you said February of next year?
yeah.
So they would have to be filming now, and I don't know what other movies in production.
Yeah, like they would have announced like a Doctor Strange 3 if they were gonna do that. Because it's not Shang-Chi too, because we know Shang-Chi is gonna be in Doomsday,
Yeah.
unless they're gonna do it before the events of Doomsday.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know.
Yeah. Because you can't do Spider-Man Brand New Day without addressing the events of Born Again. Because he's a street level vigilante, masked vigilante. Like, there's got to be some overlap. There has to be, and that's more than just the Spider-Man fan of me being like, please, please, please,
Yeah,
please. It's like narratively, it would not make sense if you just
yeah.
ignore that. Like,
My theory would be is that maybe Kingpin has hired some of the villains on his team.
mhm.
So the rumor is that it might be Mr. Negative
Yeah, I
that's the
heard.
villain for Brand New Day. So my theory is maybe Mr. Negative is working under Kingpin,
Mhm.
and that could be the way to kind of connect that. And then who knows, maybe a vulture, maybe a scorpion is working
Please,
under
Scorpion,
Kingpin too.
please pay that off. Please.
Uh, because we definitely do need a payoff with that because they gave us that, you know, and so Scorpion would be dope if he's working under Kingpin too,
Yeah.
and then maybe he gets down to the bottom of where this is all happening, and he finds out it is Kingpin, and then maybe he learns like, okay, I'm not the only one who's been trying to, take this guy down. Then we get Matt and him and maybe the other characters, and they do like a Devil's Reign
That's what I was
type
thinking.
deal,
Yeah.
which is seems like that's what they're going to go for is Devil's Reign. So I think that would be the perfect way to kind of connect those characters together.
Yeah. Like I just don't get why Marvel and Sony would not talk about the TV rights thing. Because
Yeah,
we've been asking for Daredevil and Spider-Man to interact for like coming up on 10 years in the MCU.
yes.
So,
And the first time we actually got it is like through, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, even though they
yeah.
weren't teaming. up, but still there's that possibility that we could see that
Yeah. And
at some point down the line.
I was gonna say, like you said right there, like they're very much aware because they gave us that. They put Matt in No Way Home, so they know the connection. They know what the fans
Yeah,
want, and they know that how to like work them together and tease that. So just like follow through, man. Like don't be stingy. Don't be
yeah,
afraid. In the born again team, they know it. They know. I've seen them
yeah,
talk about it. I've seen
yeah.
it.
Like they definitely. I feel like both sides, maybe both sides definitely want it, but they just don't. Maybe they don't have a plan for it. I don't know, but it would, like I said, just something as simple as just having the villains work under Kingpin.
Yeah.
Maybe they were, contractually obligated to work under him, and that would be kind of a spin where you can make him an even more of a hypocrite because he's like, you don't want, mass vigilantes roaming the streets, but yet you're hiring these villains to work
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Um, so um, hopefully, hopefully Marvel and Sony can come to some kind of terms to let this play out because, you know, Spidey needs to be interacting with other heroes. He doesn't need to be like this lone entity by himself
Yeah.
all the
Which,
time.
to be fair, I wouldn't be mad at that for Tom Holland because he hasn't really had that lone wolf arc yet.
Yeah,
It's just right now, again, the Spider-Man fan of me would find any excuse to put Spider-Man in any Marvel project,
yeah,
but it's specifically the fact that this finale sets the stage to where it's like narratively impossible for Peter Parker to ignore what's happening. Have you seen the
yeah.
Penguin?
Oh yeah,
Have you
love the
seen the
Penguin.
meme going around about Batman and Spider Man sleeping as they're sitting? I mean, dude, they're bums. They're bums. Let's get L Spidey and L Batman. Like, come on, what are we doing?
imagine, imagine them sleeping throughout the entire time.
Mm, man, what was it? It was something that I remembered when you mentioned Mr. Negative that came to mind, but I can't remember it. This is something else I wanted to pivot to. The black suit, the set photos. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah, yeah, I have.
I have been avoiding that like crazy, dude. I don't want to see it. I don't. Every time I see like pixels that like are reminiscent of it, I just block the page. I'm like, nope. Or I'll just like
Yeah,
scroll super fast. I know
yeah.
everybody's seen it at this rate, but I want my
Oh
first time
yeah.
to see it to be in the show. However, if I'm not mistaken, it does have the logo on the chest, right?
I will not confirm or deny.
I'm gonna take that as a yes. Because like if it does, let's say theoretically it does. I think I saw that.
Okay.
I don't know how to feel about that. Like I'm glad he finally has it,
Yeah.
but it's like why is the first time on an alternate suit, not the red one? Little
Yeah.
nitpick, I know, but come on, like you couldn't have put it on the red one. Like I'm sure it'll
Yeah.
translate to the red one when he goes back, but I hope that's not the first time we see the logo.
I
It's on the black
I
suit.
honestly, yeah, I honestly thought through the trailers that they were hiding out
Oh,
uh
like
the logo. I
digitally
honestly
altering
thought
it.
they were. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because there was some stuff in some of the trailers that we did see, and some of it we didn't. Like there's like a mural of Muse, well, not Muse, but a mural of Daredevil that has
Mhm.
the words "Born Again" under it.
I
We
think I
never
saw
did
you
see
post
that.
that.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
never did see that in the show, and they altered, when Kingpin crushes that poor guy's skull.
Oh,
Um,
Gallo.
yeah, Gallo, right? The color of the blood was definitely like darker. It made you
Mhm.
think it was oil,
Yeah.
but we find out it's blood. So they alter stuff in
That
trailers all
was
the
in the
time.
trailer.
Mm-hmm.
No way. Hold on. The
Yeah,
first trailer?
yeah.
No
I don't
way.
think it was. I don't think it was in the first
Hold
trailer, but it was
on.
definitely in some of the other trailers that they released.
There's no way, dude. Hold on. I gotta see this. You can keep talking while I look it up, but
Yeah,
I gotta see this, dude.
yeah.
What?
They did. They alter stuff in trailers all the time because they don't want to obviously spoil things. Because I was thinking the Vanessa with him and Vanessa sitting down at the table eating dinner. I
Mhm.
was thinking that was like in the middle of the season,
Yeah,
but no,
that was like one of the
that was it.
final shots.
Yeah, that was like the one of the final shots in the show.
Like, why would they show that?
Yeah.
It's funny. I saw people as they were watching the series. They said, "Oh, I'm remembering a scene in the trailer that kind of spoils something." And I was like, I wonder what it is. Because the whole show, I genuinely thought the season would or might end with Kingpin uh, pruning Vanessa from the timeline.
I thought so too.
And the fact that as the scene came on, I was like, oh, yeah, we haven't seen that scene of them smiling at the dinner table yet. If I thought
Yeah.
about that a few episodes ago, that would have definitely spoiled the ending. I,
Yeah, definitely.
I need to stop doing that.
Yeah.
That is
I
crazy. They would show that stuff in the trailer, though. That's insane.
Yeah,
It's
just
insane.
mix it up and make you think like, okay, it's gonna be in this episode. Then you find out it's in that episode. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Definitely wasn't what I was expecting, but yeah, um, they do that often. So I think they probably might alter the suit,
Mhm.
the season 2 trailer, or maybe not. Maybe they'll actually show him with the double D's.
Yeah. I
We'll
hope
have to
so.
see, but yeah, I won't say too much else. There is other stuff out there.
There
Um,
is.
yeah, there is other stuff out there. I won't say anything else, but
Mhm.
season 2 is definitely going to be interesting.
Okay. Um, Let me ask you this. Uh, is season two 9 or 8 episodes? I thought it was 9, but I'm hearing 8 now.
I think it's 8 from the last time I heard.
Okay.
Yeah, because they've been filming since last month.
Yeah, because I saw, maybe this is what you were talking about. I did see Karen with the wig.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw that.
So, so yeah, in a way that kind of gave away like she was gonna come back.
Yeah. Which,
Which is it's a bummer because they're gonna be from what we heard like they're gonna be filming these seasons while the other seasons are gonna be filming
yeah.
are
Yeah.
gonna be airing,
Airing.
so it's
Yeah.
kind of like you gotta have to stay off because if not you're gonna find out like okay well, this character clearly survives because I just seen her
Right.
in a set photo.
That's
Yeah,
true. Or,
yeah,
you never know, you never know, because if Foggy's coming back next season, he didn't survive technically, so maybe they'll throw us for a loop or something.
that
Uh
is true.
but what was that I was going to ask you? Yeah, yeah, okay. If we're just talking about next year Marvel as a whole, right?
Okay.
We have Born Again season 2.
Yep.
We have is X-Men season 2
X-Men
next year?
97. Yeah, X-Men 97 season 2.
Spider-Man season
Yeah, You're
2.
Feeling It with Spider-Man season
Jesus
2.
Christ.
We have The Punisher special
Punisher
presentation,
special,
The Vision show, um,
Avengers Doomsday,
Avengers
Spider-Man
Doomsday,
Brand New Day.
Brand New Day.
We
I
might be
think there might be something else.
we might be eating good next year.
Yeah, yeah. Next year we definitely eating good. We got a lot of
Oh,
stuff from Marvel
it is
next
all the
year.
characters I actually care about. Daredevil, X-Men, Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Wow. And Fantastic Four
yeah,
this year. If it was next year,
yeah,
that would be what, 4 out of my 5 favorites? X-Men,
oh yeah,
Spider-Man, Daredevil, Fantastic Four. We just need a Hulk project and we're good.
Yeah, it would be
Poor
nice
Hulk.
if we got something Hulk related, but
It makes me sick.
Universal's yeah, Universal's still pulling at the strings. They won't give it up for some
I
reason.
don't know why I thought I read like 3 years ago the rights reverted back to Marvel. I don't know why I read
Yeah,
that. Hold on. Was Namor at Universal too? Or am I making that up?
I think I think he was. 'Cause notice in the movie they didn't call him Namor, they called him like Namor with like a long extended R at the end, and I wonder if
Hmm.
that was their way of kind of bypassing those like, you know, rights or something, so they maybe
Hmm.
had to completely write like a different terms of vibe for his Namor, but I think they have the rights to Namor now, so they can use it at full advantage, which that's definitely a name during that cheer watch that I was really shocked by. Like
Yeah.
Namor, like I wonder what they're gonna do with him in Doomsday.
Yeah. Yeah. It is gonna be cool seeing him with Doom and Susan Storm. I'm joking. Uh let's see. Yeah, so apparently Universal still has the rights to Namor.
Oh,
I did
okay.
not know that, according to what I'm looking at. Internet can be wrong, but it's saying that Universal still owns it, therefore Marvel cannot do solo films. He can only show up the same way that Hulk
Oh,
does and other properties.
that's a bummer.
Yeah. So Sony and Universal,
Yeah. If only Marvel had not gone bankrupt when
right?
they did, they would
If
have had all
only
the
they
characters
weren't
they
a bunch of broke boys.
need. Because I honestly feel like we would have had X-Men like way earlier
Oh,
into the
absolutely.
phases. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Feige said if they had all the characters, Spider Man would have been there from Phase One. Fantastic
Hmm.
Four, X Men, the heavy hitters we want to see.
Yeah.
Just checking something real quick. Sorry, that should be fine. Ah, excuse me. All right. Well, do we have any last minute things from season one that we meant to talk about that we might have forgot? I'm trying to think.
Let's see.
So we
I'd
covered
say
news.
episode I'd say episode 5 was also kind of good too.
Okay, yeah, that's actually a good one. Let's talk about episode five. I did not like it as much as the entire world seemed to when it first came out. I think I'm a
Okay.
little turned around on it now. Like I like it more. Um, Actually, okay, let me take it back. I liked it, or did I just say that? I think I said I liked it, but not as much as the rest of the world seemed to. That's what I meant to say anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Enjoyed it, just
Yeah.
not as much as everybody else. Some people say that's like the best episode of the season. I don't know about that, but um,
That's a stretch.
yeah,
That's definitely a stretch. But
I
I
do
will
have a yeah,
say
yeah. Go ahead. Yep.
I do think that episode feels more like a side story, which I don't mind because I
Oh
mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know, these heroes do have like side stories in between like a main story sometimes, so it happens.
Mhm.
Um, they were trying to go for like a Reservoir Dogs type thing, Inside Man,
Right.
type episode. Yeah,
See, Spirit Sonic says show is peak in my opinion. It was good. It was a really fun watch.
yeah, it was
Really, really fun. I'm more excited for season two. I feel like they're going to body that. I'm so excited.
definitely,
Please put
definitely.
Spider Man in there. Please, I'm begging. Sony, work something out
Please,
with them.
Sony,
um, I have
you put
one.
Spider-Man in there, you're 3 for 3. You're 3 for 3 because we know brand new day. We're hoping, but I got a feeling brand new day is going to be a banger.
Yeah, yeah. It has
And
to be.
Beyond the
Please.
Spider-Verse, I know Beyond the Spider-Verse is going to be a banger.
Almost no doubt there.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the one thing I wanted to mention about episode five, the bank episode, um, So, little nitpick, very tiny. Um, the little crystal, the gem, whatever. Um, whatever they showed it, the sound effect they added made me cringe a little bit. I know it's
Yeah,
like
it's
the most
the little
nothing burger. Like it's the
yeah.
stupidest thing to be upset about. But every time the sound effect came in, I was like, can you not just show it without this cartoony like bling? Like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. They played it up like it was gonna be like some big thing, you
Yeah.
know?
Maybe
Like I thought it
it
was gonna
is,
be
but
yeah. You know it'd be funny if it was one of the Infinity Stones.
oh, yeah.
That would have been funny.
Spirit Sonic says Sony release Spider-Verse 3 and then just give the rights to Marvel. I mean, I don't know.
They
I
do
don't know.
they do have the Noir show that's
That's
coming out
true. That's
too.
true.
And I heard something about the Silk series. They're still trying to work on that.
Oh, I thought that got canned. Because the last thing I heard was like it's going to be skewed to a male audience. And then shortly
Yeah.
after that, they like shut down. I don't know what's happening with Silk. Nobody does.
Yeah, I think it's like in development hell or something.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, for
it was
sure.
like Dan Slott. He said like, "Oh, I'm sorry for ruining the Silk character because you
He
know,
did
the
some weird
history of
stuff.
Silk. Things can
Yeah.
get kind of crazy with that.
Yeah.
So
Little freaky frog.
yeah,
He said, I got to watch the.
hopefully,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
hopefully with seeing Cindy Moon in Spider-Man 3, the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully they don't go that route, which I don't think they will.
Yeah. Surely not.
Yeah,
Insomniac doesn't really do that kind of stuff. See,
yeah.
Spirit Sonic and Chat says I gotta watch the Netflix series now. Okay, so from the sounds of that, you're one of the people that watched Born Again without having seen seasons 1 through 3. That's really interesting. Out of 10, what would you give Born Again? Assuming you haven't seen it, based on what you said. What do you think Born Again is out of 10? 10 being the best, of course. What do you give it, Jace, actually? What do you give it?
Uh, I'd give it an 8.4.
Hmm.
I give it an 8.4 out of 10. It's good. There's some things that you clearly see the overhaul,
Yeah,
but overall, I enjoyed it. It was entertaining, nonetheless. So yeah, I'll give it an 8.4.
nice. Yeah, Spirit Sonic gave it a probably an 8 or a 9. I came out of it with like a 7, I think. I was thinking
Okay.
like hovering between 7 and 8, more of a 7. Uh, just because 2 out of 9 episodes I thought were like undeniably great. Uh,
Yeah.
then like two, like episode 1 and 3, I really, really enjoyed for the most part, but not quite as much as the last two. Then the rest in between had some nitpicks here and there, so I think a 7 is fair. Still good. I think people hear
Yeah.
7 are like, oh my god, it's trash. No, 7 is good. That's
No.
commendable. Uh,
I think
yeah,
just from what I've been seeing online, that's like most people like a 7 to 8.
Mhm.
So when you average that out, that's like really good.
Yeah,
So I think people are going to be just as excited for the next season. I think, like we said, next season I think is going to be ultimately better than the first season,
yeah, yeah,
and we'll start to see more and more of that hype build up within the season.
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we covered just about everything. If not, we can always do a part two if we think of more stuff. But
Most definitely.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
well, I had a great time.
Yeah, I did too, man. This is great, doing this for the first time. We
Yeah.
definitely got to collab some more. I'm
Oh,
definitely
for
down
sure.
to collab some more.
We'll do
Yeah.
some lives or video or something, some video essay. We'll figure it out. We'll have some fun.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys go subscribe. Jace the Don. I got the link in the title. I'll go back and add it to the pinned comment, description box, all that on the VOD. If you're going to rewatch this and all that good stuff, make sure you go
Yeah, man.
watch Daredevil.
Appreciate it.
Morning.
Appreciate it.
No problem, man. Yeah, no idea what to say now. I mean, I'm just happy that we got a solid season of Daredevil. The show's back. I missed it, and next
Yeah,
year, gotta wait a whole year. But
yeah,
next Marvel thing is Thunderbolts, which is in a couple weeks, right?
yep, May 2nd. Then we have Ironheart, which is in June.
June, and then when's Fantastic Four? Is that also June
Fantastic
or
Four is in
July?
July.
July,
Yeah,
right?
and that's
Because
like a few
Superman,
weeks
same year
after
or
Superman.
same month.
Yeah,
Yeah. All
yeah.
right. So plenty to look forward to. Thank you guys for watching. Go watch Daredevil. What are you doing? Seasons 1 through 3. Born Again. Do it. Go watch the director's cut of the Ben Affleck film as well. Uh, Watch the animated series crossover with the character. I don't care. It's Daredevil
Yeah.
time, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. That's it for me. And I'm assuming that's it from you. So yeah.
Oh
You
yeah,
guys
yeah.
have a good one. And as I've concluded this live stream 5 times, I'm actually gonna press the button. So peace out.
Peace.